live with Rodney Rhymes.
People to people, power to power, positive thinking people.
Yes, with Sir Ron and Lady Z. It's not about you.
It's not about me.
It's about we. And God we trust.
I do own the rights to this music. I own the rights to this music. PTP, positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night. Yeah, Monday night, Motivation Monday, the Motivation Monday. Yes, it is. How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm hoping everybody's had a blessed day. I decided to not go into the studio today for several reasons, but it's Motivation Monday, and here at People to People, we try to put out motivating information and things of that nature. So y'all work with me. I'm gonna be real brief today, but it was important that I share this message with you that I received over the weekend, and this message came from a Bible study, and it was really strong for me to think about this. It just stayed on my heart, and I wanted to share this message that was shared in our Bible study. The topic of the show today is whatever you feed will grow, and what you starve will die. What you feed will grow, what you starve will die. Now work with me and understand. And this is going to be, we're going to talk about your spiritual aspect. We're going to talk about your health. We're going to talk about your family relationship. We're going to talk about your business. We're talking about things that you want to see to succeed. And so this is Motivation Monday, and I'm hoping that this message will bring some positive thoughts to you, where you will be able to use it and benefit from the message for this day. So again, the topic today is what you feed will grow, and what you starve will die. So let's start with our personal health. Let's work on that. Let's go there, because with the pandemic and everything that's going on right now, it's imperative that we pay attention to our health and the things that we're doing. And so a lot of times when I'm talking on the program, I'm also talking to myself as well to practice whatever I teach. Now, I'm not a teacher nor a preacher. I'm just a motivational speaker. But when I give out some information, of course, some people may take it as a learning lesson, and so be it. But what I would like for you to know is that I just try to put out this motivational information so that as I say it, that I also will do it for myself to move forth. So whatever you feed will grow. So if you're going to feed your body, and you want to stay healthy, we have to feed our body the proper things. And we got to focus on where we are, especially in this time with the monkey pops and the COVID and all this stuff coming up. And it's crazy because all this stuff just popping up out of the blue, and we don't know where it's coming from. But let me tell you that through the process of us moving forward, if you feed your body properly, your body will live through almost anything. Believe me. God has made it so that our bodies will sustain. We'll rejuvenate. We have been through a lot of things, and many people on this earth have been through a lot. They went from smallpox, and in my time, one of the most devastating things that I saw that was really moving rapidly was the AIDS when they came out with that. And here we don't even hardly hear people talking about that no more now. The COVID and this monkeypox things that came up is something that's not even talked about. And what we realized during the process of this time, when you start to feed your body properly and you giving your body the proper nourishments, your body is able to fight off things. And God has put everything we need on this earth. Now, again, I'm just hoping what I'm going to share with you is going to resonate with you in your thoughts and whatever you're working on, whatever you're trying to do. I'm talking about your body right now. I'm talking about what you put in your body. If you feed your body drugs, if you feed your body a lot of liquor, I'm talking about hard liquor, you feed your body a lot of prescription drugs that's not really prescribed to you, and you're not feeding what your body needs, guess what? Your body's going to die. It's going to break down. It's going to break down. Now, let's do the opposite of that. When you're feeding your body water that is needed every day, and the right amount of it, when you're feeding your body the nourishments from the vegetables and even the meats that you consume, and you do it properly, your body will be able to rejuvenate itself in a way where you'll be able to fight off some of these diseases that's coming up. That a lot of them, I don't know where they came from. I'm not saying they was man-made. I don't know where they came from, but it wasn't here in 10 years ago. And all of a sudden they coming out, like dropping out of the sky. But I can tell you one thing, that whatever you feed yourself, if it's a positive thing, it's going to help your body fight off whatever's coming. And see, a lot of us, as myself, I'm a little reluctant to put certain things in my body when it's given to me, certain shots and things they telling us to take. It's a lot of people that don't want to take them. And I'm not telling you not to take them. If that's what you think you need to do, you do that. But what I can tell you for a fact, that if you put the right nourishments in your body, you feed your body properly, then your body will live. Your body will live. It will fight off almost anything that comes to it. Now you can't jump in the fire because you eat healthy and expect not to burn. That's just stupid. You can't be shooting drugs in your arm and think that your body is going to be, you're going to be building muscles and stuff like that. That's crazy. Even when people start to use steroids and things of that nature, thinking that they're going to really build up, they might for a minute, but after a while, the steroids will start to damage you in certain ways. And we know that for a fact. So whatever you feed your body, when you feed it and you feed it properly, it's going to grow and it's going to be moving in the right direction. And if you starve your body of the things that's necessary for you to survive, you will die. You will die. You'll die from a common cold sometimes. You'll die from the flu. You can die from the chicken pox. You can die from anything if your body is not able to fight it off. So work with me. So the topic today is whatever you feed will grow. Whatever you starve will die. Also think about your mental health. Your mental health. Your mental health. If you feed your mental health the right information, you feed your mind the right information, you will grow as a person. You will grow knowing how to deal with depression. You will know how to deal with suicide thoughts. You will know how to deal with anxiety attacks. If you feed your mind with the proper information and seek the proper assistance from people, feeding yourself that positive information, you will move in a positive direction, growing as an individual. If you do not, you will self-destruct. Now, the whole topic that I'm working on today, and I got this out of a Bible study from a young lady. She said this was a message that came from her mom, and she shared it with us. And I said I was going to use that topic because right now, with this day and time, it's imperative that we continue to feed ourselves with positive thoughts, positive things, positive relationships, and so forth and so on to move forth. And I'm talking in all areas, Let's go to the business. Let's go to your business. If you are trying to build a business, you got to feed it. You got to feed it all of the necessary things for you to take off. If you don't put the work in, you don't put the time in, then it's going to die. It's almost like the dream or the thought that comes when you're thinking about something. It was like when I started doing this podcast. I started with my phone in the car, and I fed it, and I fed it, and I fed it. And let me tell you something, other people was helping me feed it, and it started to grow. It started to grow. That now I'm at 1934 Old Gallows Road, Suite 304, Tyson Corner, Virginia, 22182, in the intelligence office building. Okay, I fed this idea. I fed this project. I fed this business, and guess what? I am now a legitimate non-profit business in a very lucrative location because I was feeding it. And as I feed it with other things, it continues to grow. As we have different programs that we have at the location that we are feeding to make sure that we are helping and blessing people to a point that is growing. I want to talk about relationships. Relationships. In any relationship, you got to feed it. You have to feed it. And if you don't feed it, it will die. It will die. I'm talking family relationships. Let's go there first. Family relationships. A lot of us, a gentleman told me a little story about something today. I'm not going to say his name, but I got to tell you the story. His fiance, she passed away at her sister's funeral, and he was telling me about it, and it made me think. I was like, man. But what he was telling me was how she was feeding herself these negative thoughts about her sister passing away, and all the way to even to the funeral, she was feeding herself these negative thoughts, and she died right there. She died right there at the funeral. And that was something that blew me, because I was like, you know something? That made me think. Welcome to everybody that's joining in. Boo Jones, Redmond, Miss Beth Roots, Beth Creations. Welcome. The topic today, if you feed, hey, what's the, let me tell you something. If you feed your thoughts, you feed, anything that you feed will grow. Anything that you starve will die. Don't mind me. I got off a little bit when I saw Beth, one of my superheroes. And Mr. William Slade, how you doing, my brother? Peace and blessings to you. Peace and blessings. He's another gentleman to be able to relate to this message that I'm giving today. If you feed it, it will grow. If you starve it, it will die. Okay? That's relationships. We're talking about relationships right now. I'm talking about family members. I'm talking about fathers and sons. If the father don't try to feed a relationship to the son, and the son don't receive it and try to feed it back, guess what? Eventually it dies. It dies. It gets where it don't matter. It doesn't exist. Same things with the mothers and daughters and sisters and brothers, everybody. You got to feed positive things into your relationship, because then it will grow. Because if you don't, it will die. You must, William said, Pink said, he said, must stay positive. Yes, sir. That's what you have to do. You have to stay positive. You have to be in a position where you are putting that energy in. It is imperative that you do that. So I'm telling you, it's very, very, very important that you feed the positive information to your brain, to your relationship, to make it work. It's important. So I'm telling a lot of people who are out there, you might be struggling in some areas. You got to get that positive thoughts going. You got to get the positive thoughts going. You got to get it where you really focus on feeding the positive energy, because when you do that, it'll make a difference for you. So I think Pinky, I sent an invite to you. It says I'm able to add the guests. They can't add your broadcast while a user is connected. I'm not sure, Pinky. I see where you was trying to come in, and I tried to bring you in, but it's not letting me do it for some reason. But again, let me get back on my topic. Uh, so um, what you have to do is you have to feed whatever you're doing, business, your spirit. You got, like, you want a good relationship with God, you got to feed it. That's why we have in Bible study. We have the Bible study. At first, I didn't understand Bible study. I used to think, man, I don't have time for that. But you know something, what I do have time for? I have time for anything that's going to help me to grow and show me the purpose that God had intended for me. And that applies when you do that and get into a different study or something of a nature that is going to feed you the proper information. You start to think different. You start to move different. Last night I had an opportunity with my daughter-in-law who was feeding me. She was feeding me some information, and guess what? It helped me to grow. It helped me to grow as I thought about it. It helped me to grow as I thought about some of the things that she was telling me. And I said, you know something? This is what we have to do. We have to feed our minds. We have to feed our spirit. We have to feed our relationships. Now, let me show you how that works. Even though me and my daughter-in-law have a good relationship, right? Excuse me. Guess what happened? She fed me some information last night, and while it was at my job today at work, I had a chance to decipher through a lot of what she was sharing with me, and it made my mind move in another direction. And I felt like, you know something, okay, I'm going to take all of that what she gave me and take that positive energy to help me to move forward. And I felt like it helped me to grow. It helped me grow because she gave me some information that I needed for to promote my podcast, promote our podcast, promote the podcast. So I know that is very, very important. And many of you out there that may watch this program, I don't care what you're doing. You have to feed it. It's not going to, it's almost like if you plant a seed. If you throw the seed out in the yard, and you do not water it, it's not going to grow. Now, if it get lucky and rain a couple of days, you might see it to start to develop. But what's going to happen is if you be very attentive to it and feed it, it's going to grow into whatever you intended to get out of that seed. So that's in your relationships, that's in your business, that's in everything that you do. For everybody just joining in, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. My topic today, if you feed it, it's going to grow. If you starve it, it's going to die. If you're starving yourself of love, if you're starving yourself of relationships, you're going to find yourself being depressed. You're going to find yourself dealing with a lot of situations that have you sad. You're going to have a lot of anxiety attacks, and your health is also going to start to diminish as well. So you got to put yourself in a position where you learn how to feed. You know, that's part of the discussion that I try to stay active in my relationships, that I'm trying to move forward in a positive direction where I feed those who are around me. I feed that positive information so that we can grow together. Because I don't want it to die. I don't want it to die. Sometimes when you don't take that time, it will die on you. Sometimes do you take the time to just call somebody and say, oh, I just called to tell you I love you? You know what you're doing? You're feeding that relationship. But if you have that telephone number in your phone and don't ever use it, and then you don't reach out to somebody, you don't reach out to them, guess what? Eventually, it just dies away. the memory and thoughts of you just die away. That's in relationships. I'm talking about, let me tell you something. We all expect God to just love us. We expect God to love us just because he created us. But guess what? God wants us to show him how we appreciate the gifts and blessings he gives us. We have to get our study. We have to try to live right and do right. And by doing so, we're feeding our relationship with God. And what happens? We strive and we start to move forward. But when you ignore him and you ignore the blessings and the things that's going on good in your life, and all you're doing is looking at everything negative, guess what? You starve it, and then it starts to die. That's very important for us to understand. I don't care what it is. What I'm hoping for with this message, that somebody out there is out there working on something. I'm talking about, think about your relationships. Think about how you can feed them to make them grow and make them stronger. No matter what's going on around you, make sure that you focus on trying to feed it. It's a business that we're working on right now, right? I'll talk about it. It's not growing as rapidly as we want it to because we're not feeding it. But when we really feed it, it's going to take off. Feed your heart. Feed your heart with positive thoughts, and it will grow all around you. It'll be like this. See, people don't realize this. When you feed things positively, what happens is things grow around you becoming positive. That's parents. When you feeding your children positive thoughts and positive energy, they grow into positive thinking people. You don't give them information, you let them see all your negative moves, all the negative habits you have, you starving them. And what do? They do not look for life as a gift. They take it for granted and they die. They starve themselves by not seeking education. They starve themselves by not showing respect. They starve themselves by not staying away from the negative drugs. They starve themselves by going out here committing crimes that's going to make them have to go to jail and do some time. They starve themselves from having passion. They starve themselves from self-preservation. It's Motivation Monday with people to people. That's right. Our topic today, if you feed it, it'll grow. If you starve it, it'll die. What I constantly do is I'm constantly trying to feed our area, our community, our location, the metropolitan area with energy and thoughts to make us grow. Many of us have to do that. We have to learn how to share different thoughts and different positive things for us to move forward, for us to grow collectively. Let me tell you something. I don't care how you do it. If you don't feed it with positive thoughts and positive love and positive support, it's not going to grow. You're going to starve it, and it's going to die. Many of us, you think about it with the baby. Let's use the baby. Yes, let's use the baby. When the baby is born and you put that baby in your arms and you're looking at it, and what you start to do, you start to feed that baby love. But Slay said, powerful, brother, let the truth set you free. You know what? When you have the baby, right? You holding the baby. Baby can't walk, baby can't talk, but you know what that baby needs, so you start to feed it. And you feed it the proper things. After a while, you start to see the baby grow. But don't feed that baby and watch what happens. I've seen it happen with kittens and dogs. You want a champion dog? Guess what? You feed it. You take care of it. That's how the people, when people take their dogs to the shows, guess what? They feed it the best. They feed it the best. And then, you know something? They be blessed. I'm trying to see if I can, I see somebody, I think somebody get ready to come in. I'm going to see. I'm trying. But it's all about feeding it. Feeding it. You have to feed it. You have to feed it so that it'll grow to be able to manifest into something that's going to be a blessing to you in your life. Yeah, okay. I sent it. They cannot be added to your broadcast while a user is connected. I don't know why it's not. Um,
It says you got a user connected, so someone is already there. You're not seeing them.
oh well. I'm trying to bring them in. I tried to bring them in, and it's not working. I don't know. Um, I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm doing something wrong. But hey, please know that I'm trying to bring you in. I'm getting ready. Oh, okay. Here you go. Let me see something. Okay. I just tried to add somebody. I think Walter. Let me see if Walter can come in there. I just, I just hit it. Hello, Dr. Lynch's com- campaign. Okay. Wait a minute. I just tried to bring somebody in. Let me see. I'm still trying. And it's saying adding, but there's nothing happening. But y'all work with me. Work with me. Stay with me. Put your comments in. Type your comments in until maybe it'll pop up and you'll pop in. I'm hitting bring the video on. It says bring them on video. I'm hitting that and it's not doing it. Okay, okay. Wait a minute. Nah. Let's see. Let's see. I'm still trying. I'm still trying. Let me see. I'm still trying. No answer from the live video request. Okay. Let me stay on track. Let me stay on track. The topic today, if you feed, whatever you feed, it will grow, and whatever you starve will die. Okay? How you doing, Prophet Katrina? Prophet Katrina, I was trying to bring you in, and I don't know why it's not letting me. Um, I sent the request to you. If you can, it says, okay. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to do this. I don't know why it's not, but it's throwing me off. I want to stay on point because that's one of the things, one of the topics was, things were shared to me. I don't want to get thrown off track. Okay. But for everybody just tuning in, know that God is good. This is People to People with Rodney Grimes. My topic today, if you feed it, it will grow. If you starve it, it will die. Relationships, business, your spiritual growth, your grass, your children, your family relationships, your marriages. If you don't, let's talk about that. A lot of people want to know why the marriages fail. How about that? You know why? You got to feed it consistently. You have to feed it consistently for it to go, for it to grow. You have to feed it consistently for it to grow. If you do not, it will die. You will starve it. We was talking about this on a couple of other shows that we had just recently. You got to put something in to get something out of things. You have to do that. If you do not put the right things in, you will starve it. It will die. It will. If Dr. Tennessee Lynch, she says, dead. It will be dead if you do not feed it. If you do not feed your relationships, I'm talking about on all grounds. Spiritual. Your spiritual relationship should be the number one. You know what I believe? I really believe this. Even for the ones who say they don't believe in God. I believe that every person on their dying bed, they say they'll turn to God. I believe that they'll try to feed something into that spiritual relationship that quick to say, God, I know that I ain't believed you in all these years, but I'm gonna come to you. And guess what? I believe that when you're feeding it sincere from your heart, you know, a relationship will grow immediately. Not said that you can do right, do wrong and wait till the last minute to try to get that straight, because that was something we talked about in the Bible studies as well. But I'm trying to tell you, anything that you feed will grow. Anything that you starve. I got a lot of relationships that I tried to feed and I wasn't receiving it back. And guess what? The relationships are not there anymore. They died. We starved it. We starved it. You have a business, you have to feed it. You got to put the work in. And believe me, it's a process. Many people out there have to understand whatever you feed your mind is what's going to grow in your mind. If you don't feed your mind the positive thoughts and the positive things to move forward, you will starve your mind. And your mind will deteriorate. And your mind will go to waste. It's almost like your talent. If God gave you a gift, a talent to use, you have to feed it. Feed it, share it. Feed it, share it. It grows. The success of many celebrities and people in this world, they fed their project, their ideas, their thoughts. They fed it. And it grew, and some of them it just busts into a big open thing of good love and joy, and people just get a kick out of it because of them feeding it with the right things, the right thoughts, the right energy. But then you got some people who have talent that they don't feed it, and next thing you know, they find out they can't do it. I used to could draw really, really good. I still can draw, but I stopped doing it. So guess what? My hands and my mind and the whole rhythm of the drawing got starved. It got starved. I'm telling you, you have to feed anything and everything that you do. And you have to do this with other people. Feed people. Feed people so that they can help it grow. Feed people businesses. I was talking to one of my cousins the other day. He's talking about his clothing line. Guess what I told him? I said, let me know what I can do to help you. I fed him some positive thoughts. I fed him some positive thoughts, hoping that when he went home, that the thought that I gave him is going to help his thoughts manifest and grow. And that we'll come together and we will be able to do something to make it manifest into something powerful. I want you to feed my program. Help me feed it. People to people with Rodney Grimes. Go to YouTube, you put in Rodney Grimes. Please hit subscribe. Help feed it. Help feed it. I'm asking you. You know why? Because I want to see it grow. I don't want it to starve to death. I want it to prosper so I can be a blessing to many people. One of the questions was asked last night to me, why do I do this? Why do I do this? And I thought about that. You know why? I feed that I feed off of that love. I feed off that agape love that I know God has. I feed off of that generosity that God has, and I feed off of wanting to help other people. I don't do it because I want to be seen. Because let me tell you something, I can go throw a rock at a police car and take off running down the street and get a lot of attention. I can go stand on the top of the bridge and act like I want to jump off and get a lot of attention. That's not what I do this for. I do this because I feed off of helping people. I feed off of doing production. I feed off of using my skills, my talent. See, I don't starve myself. I don't starve myself at all. Lady Z, you put that on there. You forgot to put the dollar sign on the Cash App. Excuse me. As you'll see, the Cash App was put in. Our Cash App is the dollar sign RG1960. The dollar sign RG1960. And this is what I've been doing. And I tell you, I want many people, I want you to come out, many of you who are interested in doing a podcast, you want to be on a podcast, you want to see what the podcast is doing, you're more than welcome. Come out to 1934 Old Gallows Road, Suite 304. I'm going to tell you something. We are in a very, very lucrative location, the intelligence office, and they have space for rent out there that's phenomenally, available for you. And it's just an amazing place to be. I'm telling you, they treat me very, very good there. Not just the owner of the place, but I'm talking about the other businesses in the location. And you know what we do? They feed each other. And the businesses grow. I'm looking at where we came from, where I was just on the phone. Now we in the studio. We got the mixers, we got the Black Magic board, we got cameras, we got lights, we got the settings, TVs, everything. We get ready to expand out there because we feeding it. I'm telling you, and I told y'all to pay attention. I got something for you because I'm feeding it, because I'm going to tell you something in a little bit. Y'all going to be saying, look, people to people is not playing. We are feeding the DMV. We are feeding it with the positive energy. As we say, people to people, me, you, and them, that's you, that's us. The power we possess, we take that power, we taking that positive power and we feeding it to each other by supporting each other and getting out here doing the right things and sharing this information and networking, and we becoming positive thinking people. PTP. We're feeding it. And if you have an idea, you want to share it, come on the show. Come on the program and let's feed it. We have a young lady coming on Wednesday named Sabrina. She's a music artist. Guess what? We feeding the information to help promote her. And she's going to be growing. She's already growing. But this is just another part of it. Every little thing that you do to help move forward, guess what? Is to feed what you believe in. So it will strive, it will grow, it will get nourished. That's your body as well, your heart, your thoughts. Let me tell you something, men. Let me tell you something. If you've been in a relationship a long time with your wife, right? You got to feed the wife. You got to feed the relationship for it to grow. And vice versa. The wife, the partner, have to feed the relationship for it to grow. Because if you don't, it will starve. And when it start to get hungry, it start to lose energy. It start to lose nourishment. It start to lose power. When the young lady in our Bible studies was saying that, she said, if you feed it, it'll grow. And if you starve it, it will die. I was like, oh my goodness. Such a very, very mild and simple way of saying it, but very, very powerful when you think about it. You know, I was looking at my son, and I had my grandkids with me, And I realized something when I looked at him and his wife. I was like, you know what? I'm proud of him. I'm so proud of him because he's feeding that family. He's feeding that family energy. You know, his daughter, man, I kind of found myself sitting with a big smile because I was saying he's feeding his son and his daughter by them seeing him going out here working to build that family. And guess what? His daughter, oh my goodness, my granddaughter, I can't wait. The older she gets, she gonna be a powerhouse because of what he's feeding her. That love, that discipline. She's seeing them striving. Their mom and dad, they're seeing that. We have to do that in everything. Do it in your relationships. A lot of you, you know something? If you're in a relationship that haven't been going well, guess what? You got to start feeding it. You got to feed it. And let me tell you something. If you don't feed it, it's going to starve and it's going to go away. And you'll be sitting amongst those who you think that's around you that you haven't been feeding that positive energy. And guess what? They are starving. They are starving in a way that's really it's going to mess you up. Excuse me. It's going to mess you up. You have to feed whatever you're doing on your job. If you got a new job, you got to go in there and you got to feed your energy to all the people that's around you so that they can see what you're worth. If you don't feed it, guess what? They'll look at you and see you worthless. And it's starving them. And you know, a hungry stomach wants to be fed. A starving mind wants to be given some positive thoughts. I pray to God that everyone that see this message today would take this message and put it in your relationships. Put it in your business. I mean, get to a point where you're feeding positive things to those that you care about. Your neighbors, your friends. Life is, I've never seen it like this before. And I'm only 62 years old. My mom is 91. And as I talk to her, I have a tendency to ask certain questions. And I try to imagine what it was like when she was 12 and 13. And I, one of my mom asked me certain questions about certain things I do. But let me show you something what was fed to me. A relationship with God was fed to me as a little boy. A relationship was fed to me by one of my neighbors who he's deceased, Otis Jones. They called him Big O on Payne Street. He fed a thought to me and told me that I never had to be broke. He gave me the key to the lawnmower. And he fed a thought into my mind that instead of me doing something that'll cause me to go to jail and do time, he gave me the thought to go and cut the grass up and down the block. He fed me a thought that turned into something bigger than what I could ever imagine. He gave me the thought to be an entrepreneur, to be a man, to go out and work for something. I ended up getting a paper route as a young boy. I remember some of my friends was laughing because they saw me serving the papers. But guess what? I was feeding my future. I was feeding my future, preparing myself. Anything that you're doing, feed it. Put the work into it. Sometimes I'm in the studio at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'm in my office at home 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm working right now. You know what I'm feeding? I'm feeding my thoughts to try to figure out how to get people to go to YouTube to subscribe. Because I don't know how to get you to do it, except ask you. But I'm marketing. I'm working with different areas and different people, and I'm asking people because I'm trying to make this happen because I want to keep moving forward. So I'm trying to feed it to make it so that we're gonna be worldwide. I was talking to my partner the other day, and we talking about we doing work over in Egypt. We networking in Egypt and places over like that, and Dubai and some other places for people. What we doing? We feeding them information, and they feeding us information. And what's happening is we're growing by doing so. We're not starving each other by holding back. I ask every last one of you that's seen this this tonight. If you haven't, go to YouTube and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just a little time. That's it. Help me feed people to people. I thank all the people that have been coming in and sending support to the Cash App, the $ RG 1960. I appreciate that. I appreciate the young lady Maya, who's my technician, who comes out there. We feeding her information. We feeding her by showing her how to work the cameras and the equipment. And eventually, guess what? She gonna be full. We not starving her. She might be starving in the area of a little finances right now. I hate to say that, but as we move forward, I'm keeping it real. As we move forward, we are going to be feeding each other. That support we give, you're feeding each other. Don't starve me. Don't starve yourself. You have to feed each other in order for things to grow. Hey, Angela, how you doing? Angela's another one. She always feeding us by coming in and supporting us, and we appreciate it. And Angela in Arizona. We love you, babe, and we appreciate your support. It helps us to grow. A lot of people that's tuning in, understand this. It's all about you trying to do the right thing to feed your thoughts spiritually, mentally, physically, in order for you to see prosper. You see blessings. What you need to do is feed it. Because if you don't feed it, you are starving it. And if you starve it, it's going to die. And that's your body, mind, and soul. And you can put them in whatever order you want, but you need to feed all of them. You need to feed your bank account. Many people's bank account is starving. You know why? Because you ain't feeding the savings account. Feed it and watch it grow. Feed that savings account. Watch it grow. Because if you look at it right now, if you ain't got nothing in there, it's starving. It's calling you and saying, I'm hungry. Fill me up. Learn how to feed all your relationships. Learn how to feed all your business. Learn how to feed all your thoughts. Feed them on a positive note that you move forward, that you be a blessing, not just to yourself, but to others. Put yourself in a position where you don't starve it. Don't starve yourself. Don't starve yourself from love and commitment, relationships. If there's anybody out there, let me tell you something, that you feeling lonely, guess what? You can feed yourself enough love that you will get overwhelmed with it by going and just seeking help. You're going to just talk to somebody. Get you a life coach. You know what life coaches do? They feed you. We just had a young lady on with us, Kayla B, Natural B. Check her out. She'll feed you some positive energy. We got another life coach that's a part of our team, Hanadi Ali. I'm trying to tell you, feed you some positive energy. We got a lot of people out there that's doing things that are trying to move forward, and they feeding people to make things happen. God is good. And you know what? What I do is I try to eat. Don't mind me. I'm trying to look at something at the same time. I try to eat and feed myself to make myself grow. I do. And I just feed myself, and I just be thankful. I be thankful with God for what he does and how he do things. Yeah, I got it right here. I was looking for this and it was right here by my feet the whole time. But for everybody that tuned in, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. And I thank you. I thank you for joining me. I thank you. I thank you for all you do. And I ask you to continue to move forward with me as I move forward with you. You know? So that we can feed each other. We feed each other to a point where, you know, we just show love and good things, and we prosper together. Okay? Just take the time and feed different people. Feed them so that, you know, that they can show love to each other. Feed them so that they'll grow. Let's do that. Let's feed each other. I thank everybody that just joined in. And I thank you for your support. And I ask that you continue to feed the program, the People to People podcast. Remember our $sign is the $RG 1960. Also, we ask that you go to YouTube and subscribe. And we ask that you continue to feed positive love and support to your neighbors, to your family and friends. Let's keep moving forward and let's show love to each other and make it happen. It's a blessing. Every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Monday, every Wednesday night, yes, Wednesday, every Friday night, Friday, every Monday night, Monday, Wednesday night, Wednesday, Friday night, Friday, every Monday night, Monday, every Wednesday night. You need to feed us, feed us, and watch us grow. Feed us, and watch us grow. Yes, it's People to People, power to power, positive thinking people. We love you. And remember, in God we trust. That's right.